Welcome everyone. Thank you for tuning into this webinar regarding 5G in the fixed wireless access space. My name is Matt Fischer, and I will have a presentation about the device or the 5G technology, where 5Gs are evolving when it comes to fixed wireless access, but also to other mobile broadband devices. I've scheduled, or let's say divided the presentation into three sections. One about the company SIMCom, will be a short one, and one about 5G technology, evolvement, where is it going, also in relation to the fixed wireless access market. And at the end, some solutions, some modules, some technologies that we as a module provider can provide or give you to the market for mobile broadband, but also in general for these kind of technologies and solutions. First, SIMCom is a cellular module vendor with Chinese origin. We have development in China. We have production in different locations in China and also outside China. We are present in all the main markets with sales and support team that can support the activities locally, technically, as well as sales. We have been around for more than 20 years, so it's fair to say that we are among the oldest cellular module vendors around from China, and we have maintained our focus on cellular modules and GNSS modules, and we stay that course because we believe the cellular technology in the future will be, let's say, even more expanding in all directions, so to say. Looking at 5G deployment over the past 3 years, definitely it has been a fast rollout in many areas, very much driven by consumer products like smartphones and others, game consoles, but smartphones in particular, because the demand for increased content, the quality of the content, the video in particular, are just increasing, meaning that 5G is the only technology that can support this in a large scale. So we see a fast-growing deployment of 5G in the market, and that will just continue as we see it. Even in markets outside the one specified here, we also start to see 5G deployment coming out. So putting this into where are 5G right now, and some market areas are more developed, well-developed than others. And clearly in the bottom here, we see the, let's say, the low end, the so-called LTE-M or NB-IoT, which is used for simple IoT devices. We still use LTE as the base radio technology, but clearly that will soon later on also move into the 5G. Where we see the 5G being deployed is in the mobile broadband, where the demand for higher data throughput, higher speed grades are needed, enhanced mobile broadband. That's where we start to see 5G being heavily deployed. The downside still with 5G is the costing. It's a fairly costly technology still, but there are works in progress to bring that down. So far, we still see a lot of LTE advanced, but 5G are taking over more and more in this space. Looking into industrial and automotive, where 5G will also come into play, we're not there yet where it's fully deployed, but a lot of things are still deployed by LTE, but also 5G here would have an important impact, especially when we have ultra reliable low latency and V2X specification and the positioning of 5G, non-terrestrial, time-sensitive network, etc. we put into play. We have, let's say, 5G solutions which is superior to anything else when it comes to that. But we're not there yet, but it will come. It has been standardized, or specification has been ratified, so it's just a matter of introducing it to the market. Looking at the fixed wireless access in more details. Clearly, on the upper left-hand side, we have the ADSL, the cable, which is known to many, has been around for many years, and actually done a nice job when that was suitable. The geostationary satellites was very nice to have, or are still very nice to have when it comes to maritime in particular usage, on the vessels, ships, to get internet access when you are on the sea. Going into LTE with fixed wireless access, well, that gives also nice speed grade, but not really what in comparison to what the demand is as today. Low Earth orbit satellites are coming into play more and more, also where we see the non-terrestrial communication linking up with low Earth orbit satellites, giving the speed grade, which is also more attractive than the geostationary. Also makes, let's say, very much handy when it comes to ship vessels at sea. Just moving further to the right, we have now on the right-hand side 5G fixed wireless access and fiber to the home, which I think is fair to say is the most main driving technologies right now. Fibers are still rolled out in many places, but there's also many places where fibers are not there. And digging holes in the ground, introducing fibers is very costly. Looking at 5G fixed wireless access, worth mentioning that once we have millimeter wave in place, that will take that speed grade here to another level. Again, being very superior technology over many of the other ones when millimeter waves are available. Looking at the benefit of fixed wireless access, it's fast deployment. Basically, you get the box, you plug it in, the wall plug, given the connectivity SIM card are in place with the providers, you have a connection and you get high-speed broadband data very fast. It's cost efficient, as mentioned before. You don't need to dig in the ground to put in cables or wires or fibers. It's just plug and play solutions, very easy. So basically, it's a strong competition to the wireline or wired solutions in the market today, and especially with the deployment of 5G and when the pricing for 5G comes down, it will be a very, very strong alternative to the other solutions in the market today for fixed wireless, or let's say mobile broadband or broadband in general. Looking at how the fixed wireless access devices as of today, clearly most of those are the so-called LTE devices in the field, but we start to see a trend where more and more devices will be moving into 5G, especially the places where high data speed are needed. 5G is the only solution to get there. And also we see when the volume gets up, the pricing becomes more attractive in favor of 5G. So we see the trend, as it says here, when we're hitting 2026, a very big portion or bigger portion of this fixed wireless access devices will be 5G deployed.